Hey guys, PepperAmmy here. This week we are taking a look at kombucha and scobies again. Now in this episode we are taking a look at how to deal with a moldy scoby or kombucha batch. Now first things first, you need to find out if it is actually mold or if it is just a misshaped scobies, because face it, scobies can look a little bit weird. Now the first step is a nice obvious one. Does it look like mold? Now, the general mold you're going to have in your kombucha if you get mold is it's either going to be white and fluffy and float on the top, or it's going to be dark greenish blue and slightly fuzzy, or it's going to be black and fuzzy. Now, the top of your SCOBY should look fairly smooth, slightly waxy, and a pale tan colour. Now, there's going to be some examples on screen of what the kombucha mold can look like. And additionally, some healthy scobies can look a little bit weird too, so there's going to be some examples of some healthy scobies on screen now. Now, some scobies can have a hole in the top of them. This is a blowhole. This is just so the brew can breathe. This is nothing to worry about whatsoever. Now, once you have identified what you have is actually mold, there is only one thing you can do, and that is say goodbye to your SCOBY and brew. Mold is a clear sign that your kombucha is not fit for consumption and should be disposed of. Now, you can still compost your moldy SCOBY as it will still break down, and your brew should just be poured away, but by no means you should try cooking anything with your SCOBY. Next, you want to fully sterilize your brewing vessel and all connected parts. Like if you are doing a continuous brewing, or if you have a setup like mine, you will have a tap and a spigot. You need to fully disinfect those as well. Now, the best way to do this is using distilled white vinegar, as any residue left over will not affect your next batch of kombucha, unlike some other more harmful disinfectants. Now, once fully cleaned and sterilized, use a clean dishcloth to fully dry and you are ready to start your new brew. Now, there will be a follow-up video on the channel in a few weeks on how to grow a new SCOBY from just starter liquid and no SCOBY, in case you don't have a SCOBY hotel. Now you have a fully cleaned brewing vessel, you want to troubleshoot and try and work out what caused your SCOBY to turn moldy. Now, there are various reasons why this might happen. One of them is the temperature your kombucha is brewing at. Now, the ideal temperature is 24 to 29 Celsius or 75 to 85 Fahrenheit. Anything lower than this can slow down your brew becoming acidic and allowing mold to take hold of your SCOBY. Another common issue is not enough starter liquid from your previous batch to give your kombucha a pH boost, meaning that mold can grow because your batch is not acidic enough. Also, the area which you are brewing your batch in, you need to make sure it is nice and clean. You always want to make sure the area around your SCOBY and the equipment you use is not contaminated. Now, for me personally, the tea I use and the sugar I use is completely separate from anything I use anywhere else in the kitchen, and this is kept separate at all times. Now, any utensils you use during the brewing, you want to make sure these are nice and sterilized before using. Also, any close by houseplants or other ferments can lead to mold in your kombucha as well from the soil, and also if you have any other ferments nearby, you need to separate them. Some say up to 5 feet. I wouldn't necessarily go that crazy, but it's always worth trying to keep brews separate. Now, as well as an area being too cold to brew your kombucha, another problem is humidity. If you are brewing yours in the kitchen and it is near the kettle or near your stovetop, somewhere that gets a lot of steam. Now, steam and dampness go kind of hand in hand, and that can also lead to mold developing on your kombucha SCOBY. Now, I'm fairly sure my mold outbreak was from the low temperatures, as it broke out during the winter and I brew my kombucha in a non-heated hallway on a unit where it's out of the sun and it still has plenty of air circulation. Now, the chance of your kombucha batch going moldy is slim due to the acidity content. Always keep an eye out for the mold, as it will contaminate the whole brew and you can't just remove the mold from the SCOBY. The whole batch must be destroyed and restarted. Now, I hope this video was some help to you guys out there, and if it was, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. I know it's been a while since I've done a last kombucha video, but I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all again soon for some more kombucha videos. Now, on screen is also a few videos of how to use spare SCOBYs around the kitchen. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you all again next time.